In the big picture at this hour, the amazing saga of former Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry, who currently serves as a city council member. His soaring achievements, catastrophic failures, and stunning rebirths are now the subject of a new HBO documentary, The 9 Lives of Marion Barry. He first served as Washington's mayor from 1979 to 1991. In 1990, he was the target of a high-profile sting operation and crack cocaine arrest. He was convicted and served 6 months in prison, but was still elected to the city council in 1992. Then in 1994, he was elected to mayor again.
He's back.
If Marion Barry can do it, our entire city can get up off its knees and rise up and believe in itself again and do for itself again and bring us out of where we are now again.
It was like they were doing a movie, and you'd say, oh, no, that really didn't happen. But it did happen.
It did, and soon after his 1994 election as mayor, Mr. Barry was treated successfully for prostate cancer and did not run for another term in 1998. In 2004, he was elected again to the city council. Since then, he's pleaded guilty to failing to file a 2005 tax return and was sentenced to 3 years probation. He tested positive for cocaine and marijuana during mandatory drug testing. Prosecutors tried to revoke his probation and send him to prison. He also fought a drunk driving charge, and just last month, his ex-girlfriend claimed he was stalking her, but the charges have been dropped. Oh, he also had a kidney transplant earlier this year.
An incredible story, David. The bigger picture, the rise and fall of Marion Barry, and joining us now from a former Washington, D.C. mayor, Marion Barry himself. In studio also, Dana Floor, who co-directed that documentary, The 9 Lives of Marion Barry, premieres next Monday on HBO. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Barry, 9 lives, is that enough?
Well, first of all, I've had over 50 years of public service, over 35 years in D.C. government, mayor 16 years, and city council about 12 years. And so 9 lives probably expands from March 6, 1936, when I was born in the cotton fields of Mississippi, to mayor, to city council, and et cetera. So I think 9 lives is an appropriate
Why
title.
now? Why tell this story now for you?
Well, it's been in the making for a long time. Dana Floor is to be congratulated. She started in 2001, had some stops and started self-financing and, you know, trying to market it here and there. But what happens, most people know me outside of Washington with 30-second sound bites, 15-second sound bites.
So you think you're one of those people who that you've been misunderstood? And
not misunderstood, misreported. And this documentary attempts to tell the real side of Marion Barry. It's balanced, has some ups and some downs in it, and I'm just glad that we're able to at least let the nation see the real Marion Barry, the compassionate Marion Barry, the hard-working Marion Barry, the successful Marion Barry in 50 years of service. That's
Dana,
all.
you had somebody in a clip that said you basically can't make this up. I mean, I know Mr. Barry says some ups, some downs. Some people would say solid downs and certainly some solid ups.
It's an amazing story. I mean, he comes from the cotton fields of Mississippi, and he has some incredible ups. He was incredibly successful in his first term as mayor, and then he really did reach the very bottom, and then he got up again. He got reelected in 1994. So that resonates with a lot of people, is his ability to put himself back together again and get up when he's been knocked down.
David, once again,
Councilmember Barry, so many people will never forget 1990, the grainy video of you being arrested for a crack arrest, and you saying that blankety blank blank set me up. I wonder if you still feel that way about that famous incident, and if there's anything over your career you've come to regret.
Well, you know, the FBI spent between $25 and $40 million trying to entrap me, trying to catch me looking at my mail, doing everything like that. And they had the sting at the Vista Hotel, 14 charges, and they was not convicted of not one charge. And so the federal government ought to be embarrassed that they would spend all that kind of money doing that, and that the single charge was not at the Vista Hotel. It was by a witness who had been given immunity, and that's it. So the federal
Mr.
government
Mayor, do you acknowledge that you did anything wrong that night?
No. Except the only thing I did wrong was going to the hotel room. But as far as the
woman who wasn't your wife?
Of course.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Berry. Obviously, people are fascinated by your story, but is this, though, a story about ownership? I think that's what David was trying to get to, in that you can look at and blame a lot of people, but did you feel, and you see the video of those African-American voters who supported you, do you feel at any point you let people down?
Well, let me say this. I've had 50 years of service, and that situation is about a sliver of my life. If the media were to report accurately all the kinds of things I've done in terms of transforming Washington, fighting for civil rights, and et cetera, and the fact that what you ought to be reporting is the FBI spent $25 or $40 million. That's what they did, and came up 0, 0, 0. Same is true with a number of other things. I take responsibility for that which I do, such as my taxes failing to file. I'm paying the price of it. They're taking money out of my check, over $30,000 a year. But for those people who are Barry haters and detractors and et cetera, again, this movie begins to put it in perspective. Even this interview helps to do that, because if you go to Washington now, Washington is not nearly the same it was. Summer job program, downtown is a metropolis. I've made a lot of black people fairly rich, including Bob Johnson with BET. If I had not been in office, Bob Johnson would not have gotten a contract with BET.
Dana, I'm sure you haven't worked with a more fascinating individual in this one. Marion Barry, Dana Floor, thank you both again. It's the HBO documentary, The 9 Lives of Marion Barry, premieres next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. One of the most intriguing political stories of our times. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.